I know some people that are seriously interested in meeting their suffering, doing the work, but they, let's say they meet this teaching, they meet this modality, maybe like more recently, and they didn't have all those years of cultivating presence and awareness, recognition, and witnessing and meditation. They didn't have that. They were not. They were just a regular person. And they had just had trauma, repression, mental health issues, and then they found this modality, and they heard us talking that, hey, it's not, presence is not enough. You need to meet your suffering. You need to process. So now these people are, some people are a little bit on the other spectrum, and they are telling me now, well, presence doesn't matter. I don't need to meditate. I don't need to do this because that's not enough to process my trauma. I just want to process my trauma, man. I just want to be done with this. So, and then because I know that, hey, that your processing of trauma will go better, and somehow this ingredient of witnessing and presence,
yeah,
as ultimate resource and as a ultimate truth of what we are together with. So I'm trying to, but they are saying, hey, no, that pisses me off, this presence thing, because, you know, Scott had all this presence and he still had all this stuff. So I just want to work my stuff. So anyway, I met a few people like that, and I can see that, okay, now this is another, it's, I feel a need to course correct a little bit. So what's the problem with this attitude? Like somebody who says, well, fuck presence, man. I just want to undo my repression and trauma.
Well, I think of landing, because we were going to talk about that, probably will come in here, because if I was talking to somebody like that, I would say, okay, fuck presence, go with KI. I don't get anything out of that. And then trust your body, because there could be something right there that you're using that to avoid. I don't know, because I haven't met with the person, but I would start there, because we land on attachment to KI. Could be a landing. It could just be somehow we're landing. I don't know what that is. Maybe we're scared to just be. Maybe just being scared was scary as a kid. And so although we were interested in the awakening, when we got to it, it just scared the shit out of us. And then Scott Kiloby comes up and gives us a reason not to, but that's not what Scott Kiloby's saying. But see how we'll take what I'm saying and land for maybe personal reasons. Maybe there's a reason. So I would just say, come back to that person and give them context and see if they're using that viewpoint to avoid, because right there I hear like seeking energy is what I hear. Because that's the ground of awareness is so helpful for that, when you recognize we're not really going anywhere, but the mind that seeks, if it tries to get away from the awareness talk, then you might be just engaging that mechanism that just wants to get rid of itself. That's what the repression is. It's just, I don't want to feel it. Let me get rid of it all. But if you ground yourself in awareness, that's different. It doesn't feel that way. And so that's the piece that's missing there for those folks, I would say.
Yeah, I could see that maybe what led him to that is also that they probably tried. They tried to meditate, they tried presence practices, they tried witnessing, and because they had so much trauma and repression, that didn't work. So now they throw the whole thing out.
Right. But I would say, like something like that, if you're an anger repressor, then you're angry. Like that's just another thing to use. I mean, but I would just say, don't land there on unprocessed stuff, is what I'm saying. Yeah, that's probably going to help us, actually. The fact that you're landing there, it's going to help us in the end.
I mean,
yeah,
like this processing, this is like processing from awareness. And then I'm bringing awareness to yucky energies and to resistance of feeling. So part of the thing is to bring awareness and witness the most unpleasant things in my life. If I don't have enough presence, conscious presence, I don't know how to put it, then I'm going to be identify with it. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to be afraid to it because this is scary. And
Yeah.
because I haven't found anything in myself, I don't know. That's why I was trying to explain to him, yeah, okay, I hear you, man, but what's happening is that your awareness is sucked into every content now, and you are in the washing machine, man, all day, every day. And the washing machine is confusing. It's
Yeah.
gonna make you dizzy and it's painful. So some cultivation of witnessing, some cultivation of here and now, and whatever will give you ability to witness the washing machine. You can even go into a washing machine, but then something is aware of the cycle, you know?
Yeah, I would definitely do that inquiry with those folks. I would, because there's got to be something that's really scary about that. And that could be taking us right into it. To take them back to the awareness pointing is probably just another way in. There's a reason why it didn't resonate with them. And it sounds
Yeah,
like you say, something unprocessed. So instead of just buying into it, like fuck presence, going to KI, no, I would definitely go back and see
yeah,
what was it about the presence thing that was triggering, because that's our way in here. And
yeah,
the one I almost want to say, we need presence more than ever when we do KI 3D, more
yeah,
than ever. Yeah, we need it.
yes,
We can't do
yes.
3D KI without that. That's how I feel.
Yeah, you said something to me recently, like, because without presence, interest in presence, knowledge about that actually, all of this presence is what I am. So without this, it's like it's without this, it's the imaginary me, it's the construct of me, the story of me,
Yeah, trying
which
to
is
get
itself, it's like it's something. It's like like
yeah,
a cloud. The story of me is trying to undo trauma and repression, and that's possible because it's almost undoing itself,
totally. Because like the repression, okay, I can't feel and allow something. So as a result of that, I have to identify with the story as a result of it, so to speak. It's because of that. So that can't resolve that. That's a response to that.
Yeah,
So that has to, I think, be resolved on its own directly there. And then the identity gets resolved from that, because the identity is a response from it,
yeah.
from the awareness.
So for, now getting more technical, for a person like that who is involved in trauma repression work, 3D, and there's a deficit, it's not a sweet spot, it's a deficit of presence, would you bring these pointers, or what would you recommend? Let's say at the end of a session or before a session, or to just have some time? Yeah, what would you recommend to such a person?
I think there's a way to bring certainly in, for sure, the awareness and the KI, and we're getting more articulate about it. But one thing that's clear to me is like these thoughts that come through that are really connected, and there a lot of all of it is connected to repression, but the ones that are like so connected to it, they have so much energy on them. I don't think it's a great idea just to say, okay, that's not me. So, like the thought that says, I'm not good enough has so much repression. I can't be myself. So, I have to identify with this. So, when that comes across, yeah, we can witness it, but there's just so much repression there. So, that's where I would go from pointing or resting to inquiry, to process the repression under it. And then I might come back out and continue looking and being. But whenever I see something has a lot of energy on it, I want to trust my body and go deep down in. So that wouldn't just be deficiency stories for me. It would be shadows, and it would be anything having to do with like, I just can't be myself, because that thought used to come through. And then, from the awareness to be like, oh, that's not me. That's like so not earnest around that, because that has so much conditioning on it right there. If people could just pick that up that much, like these kinds of thoughts are better to process somatically than just to witness us coming and going. That's a start.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, such a person like that, it's more like we did working and exploring these energies and witnessing the resistance, at least, that I don't want to feel it. I hate this thing. I don't want this. I hate this thing. I hate these feelings. Fuck feelings, which is interesting because the same fuck going towards presence now goes towards feelings. And so I like what I like about this modality is that it doesn't make us wrong that I have these thoughts. Fuck feelings. I hate feelings. Hey, this is in itself a thought. We allow this. We let it spend itself. We
Yeah.
even like we spend it in this dynamic way. Fuck feelings. Fuck feelings. We are aware of this, you know. I'm not
Yeah.
just repeating these fuck feelings. Fuck feelings. I'm more like I'm aware of my voice and aware of this energy. Something is aware. And I'm fully allowing this part of me that doesn't like feelings for a few cycles. And then when we go back into it, hey, I'm willing to feel this. Maybe a little bit. So, you know, it's more
Yeah.
willingness. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so I brought this up for a reason. Um, yeah, I lost it, but what hit me is that the attitude towards presence was the same attitude towards feelings.
Yeah.
So
Well, I can add something here, but I mean, I think you hit something there when you said that. When the attitude toward presence is the attitude towards feelings, which is the attitude towards KI. Because anything that makes us feel something, we're going to be against it. That's the repression. If it makes us feel that. So if it's KI, I'm against it. If it's the non-dual, I'm against it. If it's whatever else, I'm going to be against it.
yeah,
So we're allowed to be against it here. But then we say, what's under that? That's all. What's
yeah.
driving?
And this feels like I'm against this, I'm against that. There's this hurt and anger flavor, which is about something else here,
Yes.
which is probably about some people.
Yeah, and we're also getting close to the landing topic. We kind of touch into that, but I think this is so connected to that. But anyway, I'll let you decide.
Yeah, just a moment, because I'm still staying with this person, which is actually, you know, this person, if this person hears this, there are many other people like that. This is a universal thing, and
Yeah,
him making himself vulnerable, sharing, hey, this is what comes up for me. It helps many people. We all have this, yeah. But he was so earnest and looked into it, and he asked me, he discovered this thing. Hey, I have this thought, which is a landing. We're going to talk about it. KI is going to kill me. KI is killing me. And I was like, okay, well, let's look at this, you know. So, but then we explored this thought, KI is, which means why? Because KI helps me to go into my feelings. So actually, feeling is going to kill me. Feeling
right.
is killing me, you know.
Yeah,
So then I make this thought conscious. Feeling is killing me, and then now we are working at what you call first door.
yeah,
Non-dual would be just this good old resistance of feelings, resistance sensation, not allowing, want them to get rid of them. That's what we call first door. There is something there. There's some yuckiness. I don't know quite know what the yuckiness is, but I know that I don't like it and I don't want it. That is the first, let's say, block that we need to go through, which can be gradual, right?
yeah. And this, something you said there is like trying to kill myself. That energy of trying to kill myself sounds a lot like the repression. Like I just want to get rid of everything. That comes back to the awareness piece because as you ground in awareness, that's not so much there, I don't think. I think when we think of ourselves as the person, we're trying to get rid of ourselves. When we see ourselves as awareness, we're just trying to make our experience conscious.
Mhm.
You see? And then by making it conscious, yeah, there's a shift. But the whole attitude of trying to get rid of myself, I get it. But what I would say to the person is, again, what do I get out of trying to get rid of myself? Because that would take you back to perhaps you don't like yourself from childhood because of mom and dad's relationships. And maybe you're angry or you're hurt or you're afraid. And that's where you need to go instead of
Yeah,
trying to get rid of yourself.
yeah. Or the actual issue is not with KI or with presence or with actual feelings. You know, there are these feelings about something else that we want to make conscious and allow. Yeah, this upset, hurt, anger, rage. Yeah. Hmm.